Welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we are doing our May reading wrap-up. In May, I read 6 books and I just had a really good time reading. Also, I think I vlogged every single book, or like it's in some sort of vlog, which is very exciting. I've been really enjoying doing just vlogs in general. Before we begin, let's have a few sips of water. Let's do 3. Alright, so let's go over some stats. I have my handy dandy iPad. I read 6 books this month, like I said. My average rating for the month was 3.83. Again, I'm trying to only read books that are 3 and above because 3 is I like a book. That's my, this book was good. I like it. Whereas like 2 is like meh. And then 1 is I did not enjoy it at all. So I'm trying to only read books that I am enjoying. And then my total page count was 2,500 pages that I read. I was about to say words. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a lot. The formats that I read the books are 4 physical books and then 2 on my Kindle. I didn't do any audiobooks this month. Well, like not fully audiobooks. Sometimes I will pair them, 4 romances and 2 general literature fiction. So let's get to what I read. We'll start with the order that I have them in my lap, so not necessarily in the order that I read them. Again, I did reading vlogs for pretty much all of these, or like they did appear in some sort of vlog form. So go check those out if you want my reactions, non-spoilery thoughts, and all that good stuff. But if you're here for just the little blips, welcome. Happy to have ya. The first book that I read on my Kindle was The Wrong Mr. Right by Stephanie Archer. It is the second book in her Queen's Cove series. It's just a fun summary read. It's nothing too serious. I really love her hockey romances, which are Behind the Net and The Fake Out. It's been really cool to go back to her backlist and just see how much she's progressed as an author. I will say this one, I think the page count was like 373 or something. I feel like I would have liked it more if it was 25 pages shorter. For a romance, especially just a cutesy, fun romance, I don't see the need for them to go beyond 350 pages. It was a fun time. I really liked the couple, and this is dealing with Hannah and Wyatt. And Hannah works at this cute little bookshop that her mom had, and her mom has since passed. Hannah is running this. Her dad still is like the owner of it. However, Hannah is running the show. Her dad hasn't really done anything with the shop in many, many years. He doesn't want to make any changes. He doesn't want to have any social media influence with it because he wants to keep it exactly the way that her mother had it. Unfortunately, her mother opened up this bookstore in the 90s, and there's like cute, trendy 90s that's like fun. And then there's things that are actually from the 90s, which is like super run down, ugly carpet, ugly wallpaper. Hannah wants to make these changes, and she's just intimidated by her father's approval. But she also is turning 30 this year and wants to do more with her life. She feels like she is not accomplished anything, lacking in the eyes of what her mom had accomplished. Her mom was super adventurous and fun and funny. And Hannah is very introverted, very, very quiet unless she's talking about books. She definitely stays in her safe zone for the books. So she enlists Wyatt's help, who Wyatt is a hot surfer. He's trying to go pro, and the only thing that he really wants to do is surf. He also has a lot of potential hookups with Hannah deems as the cool girls or the hot girls. Hannah wants Wyatt to turn her into a hot girl. It's fun to watch her grow as a character and become more confident and make decisions and choices based on what she knows is best and not having fear over that. Her confidence just grows, and that was really fun to see. I really liked them as a couple. Wyatt is funny. I love his little jealousy. But again, like I felt like it was just a smidge too long. But all in all, it was a really fun, cute summary read. A really good like palette cleanser I'm finding this series to be. I can't wait to continue on with the series, as well as Stephanie Archer's writing just gets better and better. And I mean, I'm really happy I read her hockey romances first because I still think those are her top tier. The next book was, or a book that's in my lap that I'm going to talk about next, is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series regarding Declan and Iris. It is a marriage of convenience, very grumpy sunshine, and I loved it so much. I wasn't planning on vlogging this one, and I was just having a really good time with it, so I vlogged it. It was, I think, the first book I read of the month. It was so fun. So the Dreamland Billionaire series is following three brothers, and their grandfather passes away and leaves in his will tasks for the brothers to accomplish in order to receive their inheritance to Dreamland. And Dreamland is like Walt Disney World, but you know, copyright issues. The first book I had a blast reading as well. The characters are just so fun. And Declan and Iris, so far my favorite. Like, I really, really loved their story. Declan is so grumpy. He's so grumpy. And Iris also works for him, so she is his personal assistant and she can anticipate all of his needs. It was really cool to see their transition from like workplace to romance connection, as well as it's an age gap, but not like super gross age gap. Marriage of Convenience is probably my Marriage of Convenience and fake dating. Like, that's kind of falls under the same umbrella to me, and that's one of my favorite tropes. You guys, I did it. I did it. I read Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. This book is so chunky. I did end up reading it on my Kindle, mainly because I was traveling during that time, which you will see that vlog later on in like a few videos. This is the third book in the Knock 'Em Out series, and they are interconnected. This is following Lucian and Sloane. I had heard too many like negative reviews or just it not living up to people's expectations. And I had heard also people absolutely love this one. It was their favorite of the trilogy. I loved it. I had such a good time. Like I said, I did read it on my Kindle, which I think helped a lot because this book is absolutely chunky. The chapters are pretty long. Like, there was a few chapters where it was like 20 minutes long at my reading pace. I really, really loved it. This is Grumpy Sunshine. Again, Lucian is kind of like the evil corporate head. People are very intimidated by him, but he also is super hot. Like, he is a smoke show. I was envisioning the guy from Lucifer. That's what Sloane calls him, is Lucifer. And I love Lucifer. Sloane is a librarian in Knock 'Em Out. They have a history, and it's not a good history. Something very tragic happened in their childhood that set them in motion to just really hate each other. It was kind of not a silly reason, but like their negative feelings shouldn't have been how they were for the situation at hand. I get it, but at the same time, like the resentment that they had for each other was kind of ridiculous, and I feel like too played up to what the situation actually was. Also, you do get a few flashback chapters to their childhood. I didn't feel like they were super necessary. Kind of they were and kind of they weren't. There was only like 4 or 5 chapters of it. I think she was just trying to get across how their relationship began as more of a friendship and like a crush and everything, and then the actual situation that happened when they were kids, just to make it seem like they were, you know, closer at one time and how integrated into the family that Lucian is. But again, I don't feel like it added too much to the story, but I really had a good time with this. I am surprised that I liked it as much as I did. There is a lot of open door, big physical, lots of physicalness in this. So if that's not your thing, this whole series wouldn't be your thing then. There was a lot of smut. Also, you're kind of trying to solve the issue that has been ongoing in the previous 2 books. There's other subplots in here that move the story along too. And you get to see that the couples from the previous 2 books, so that found family aspect is really, really great. Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I had such a fun time reading this. I did vlog this one and absolutely ate it up. I forgot that they were coming out with this book, and I didn't even look at the description for it. I saw it on Book of the Month and clicked Be My Book of the Month, and that's what it was, and I loved doing that. I had such a good time not knowing anything about this book prior to going into it. This is A Marriage of Convenience, and very much class divides. Anna is a struggling artist, and she works a lot of different odd jobs to support that, as well as like her dad is going through something, so she's also providing care for him for that as well. In college, she ends up getting married to this guy for student housing purposes. Like, the only available housing that was affordable was the family housing. So she gets married to this guy that one of her friends, it's her friend's brother. Then enter Liam, and Liam is from a very, very well-off family. They own a chain of convenience stores or grocery stores or something, and he really doesn't want anything to do with it due to a situation which happened in his childhood that would have really ruined his career, and his father is just kind of a d-bag, which is weird because you don't see it until it happens. In order for Liam to get the full extent of his inheritance, again, I love an inheritance thing, he has to bring Anna to his sister's wedding, and Anna and him have to be married for 5 years. But Anna also didn't read the fine print in the paperwork when they moved out of the housing to see that they were not getting a divorce, that they would stay together for 5 years, but they've been living their life separately for that long. So she thought she was divorced this whole time. Turns out she's still married. In order for Liam to get his inheritance, he has to still present that he is married and that he's in a really happy relationship, all that stuff. Otherwise, if it turns out to be a fake marriage, the inheritance is lost. And there's also like a few other loopholes in there. It's kind of like The Wedding Date meets Crazy Rich Asians meets Pretty Woman. It was so fun. I would definitely pick this up this summer. It's a very fun, like, beachy read. Shark Heart by Emily Habeck, the story about this couple who is recently married, Lewis and Ren. Lewis gets diagnosed with a mutation where he turns into a great white shark. Hang in there with me, okay? I thought it was kind of silly sounding. It's actually like a really good symbolism for someone that is going through some sort of big medical illness, such as like cancer, Parkinson's, MS. It kind of signifies that, and the toll it takes on the person going through that, as well as their caretakers. This book is so beautifully written. It is also written in prose, in poetry, in playwright. It was so well done. I'm typically not a big fan of that kind of writing style, but it was so well done. Ren is very level-headed. She is very analytic, while Lewis is a theater person. Like, he loves directing and the drama of it all. So they're very much opposites attract. I feel like this book was very well done, but again, that's coming from somebody that has not had to be a caretaker nor had an illness like this, but I feel like it was delicately handled and handled very well from my perspective. If you thought otherwise, please let me know. I would appreciate that insight. I think it will be one I don't think of often, but when I do, I'll be like, oh, great writing. Then the final book that I will talk about in this wrap up is The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. And this was interesting. So Lauren ends up coming home from a hen do, or a bachelorette party, if you will. When she gets home, there is a man in her house who also happens to be her husband. Problem is, Lauren has not been married. She is a single woman. She is not even dating anybody. She returns home to this man who keeps saying that he's her husband. He's in his pajamas, like asking Lauren, what's wrong? Are you okay? Let me get you a glass of water. All of this. And pretty much she has no idea what is going on, who this man is. So rightfully she freaks out. Then something happened to where her husband had to go, Michael, I believe it was, has to go up into the attic. And when he does, and when he comes back down, it is a different man. And she is so confused. And this man is also her husband. She is very confused as to what's going on. She ends up sending that man back up, and then a different one comes down. Her apartment changes slightly, whether that's like the design, color schemes, whatever, knickknacks in it. Thank goodness for technology, because she ends up finding out what their name is in her phone, and like going through pictures, and her life changes slightly as well. So it's very much like a multiverse thing, because everybody remembers her husbands except for her. She doesn't really know why this has happened and like what sparked this. So she's going through husband after husband trying to find her husband. So it's pretty much like swiping left or right on the app, and also just seeing what your life is in that moment with that husband and what your life has become. So it's kind of giving Midnight Library as well. Thought it was a fun and unique, different story. I don't think this book is going to be for everybody. I had a good time with it. I thought it was really fun. I really liked the ending. I will say it was kind of a slower book. The whole main thing is like her trying out these different husbands and getting tired and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But there were some fun little things in there, and it's kind of cool to see how her life changes, like what hobbies she picks up, what jobs she has. You can check out the reading vlog too and kind of see my thoughts during that time. These are the 6 books that I read in the month of May. What was my favorite book? Okay, I'm either gonna say Terms and Conditions or The Paradise Problem were my favorite reads of this month. Funny. Yeah, I rated them the same. So yeah, I gave them both a 4.5. Yeah, I just had a really great time. What was your favorite read of the month of May? Or like what other books did you read that you want to put on my radar, or anybody else's? That would be so great. Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the other bookish content / reading vlogs or anything else we get up to on here. As well as like this video. It really does help boost my channel and I appreciate it because I love external validation. And with that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye!